Getting pushback. Lisa Brady, Fox News. At the University of Texas in Austin, hundreds of students are showing support for Palestinians by walking out of class in what the school calls an unauthorized protest, warning organizers it won't allow the campus to be taken. This as protests that began last week in New York City have spread to more than 25 top universities around the country, now also including the University of Southern California campus in L.A.
We are told that there are students mixed with some, quote, outsiders, and we do not know exactly what the administration has done in terms of their marching orders for both campus police as well as LAPD, whether they're going to clear them out, which is what's happening at Texas, or whether or not they will be allowed to stay to put up their tents and so forth, as I've been told by our photographer who was on the scene that they brought tents as well.
Fox's William Lajeunesse. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu posting a video on the protests.
Anti-Semitic mobs have taken over leading universities. They call for the annihilation of Israel. They attack Jewish students. They attack Jewish faculty. This is reminiscent of what happened in German universities in the 1930s.
He says it's unconscionable and has to be stopped, calling anti-Semitism the canary in the coal mine that always precedes larger conflagrations. Earlier today, President Biden signing a $95 billion package that includes more aid for Israel and Ukraine and Taiwan.
When our allies are stronger, and I want to make this point again and again, when our allies are stronger, we are stronger.
Also reiterating support for bipartisan border security measures that didn't make it into the final bill after months of debate. An update just in on a fiery plane crash yesterday outside Fairbanks, Alaska. A federal aviation official says one of the two pilots reported a fire shortly before the crash, which killed both of them. The plane was carrying more than 3,000 gallons of heating oil for a small village. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Multiple arrests and citations at a crowded spring beach party in Georgia.
Tybee Island police say officers made 54 arrests and issued more than 100 traffic tickets at the annual Orange Crush party on Georgia's largest public beach. It's believed more than 6,000 people were there for what has become a yearly celebration of spring. The high attendance required more cops on patrol and resulted in more citations than in prior years. This includes officers finding 3 stolen guns and a stolen car. Police are also looking into a car chase during the event. After many community complaints about noise and trash, some attendees did stay later to help the town clean up the beach. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Air quality in the U.S. under a microscope in an annual report.
131 million people, roughly 40% of the U.S. population, are living in areas with unhealthy levels of air pollution. The American Lung Association used air quality data from 2020 to 2022, the most recent available, but updated it to reflect this year's EPA pollution standards. There were also more very unhealthy or hazardous air quality days than any time in the survey's history.
Fox's CJ Papa, one top official with the association, blames the impacts of climate change. Runaway horses race through the streets of London.
Tearing a 5-mile route through the centre of the city, military horses stopping and smashing into London's morning traffic. That from BBC footage as at least 2 horses, one seemingly covered in blood, galloped from Buckingham Palace to East London's Docklands. Cars have been seen dented with windows smashed and at least 4 injuries have been reported at 3 different locations.
Fox's Jonathan Savage in London. All of the horses were recovered. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
Good afternoon. I'm Andrea Drake with your local and regional news from the Sierra Radio Network newsroom. Here's what's happening. The new Susanville City Council continues to struggle to allocate the final balance of ARPA funds. In a special meeting last evening, the council was tasked by the city manager, Dan Newton, to identify their top 3 to 5 projects they wish to pursue to spend the near half of the remaining $2.65 million set aside to be used for community benefit.
One of my requests from the council today is if we could pare that down to maybe 5 or less. If you want us to explore anything specifically, then we can have some more details. It's difficult, I think, probably for the council to make a hard and fast decision based on some items that need to be further developed. But if we could at least pare it down to a smaller number, then that would be very helpful for us as staff.
During the over-hour-long public commenting session, more voices from the community spoke in favor of the council supporting the purchase of the Sierra Theater by the Susanville Symphony to turn it into a performing arts center. Maestro Ben Wade.
The Symphony does not want the Sierra Theater. Okay, I want to be the first to say that. We don't want it. Okay? The community wants it. If you change a group of people's life, then you're beginning to leave a legacy. If you change the entire trajectory of the history of a town by having its first performing arts center dedicated to culture and the arts and the vibrancy of youth, then you are writing history.
The owner of Sierra Theater, Carolyn Smith, also came forward speaking at the podium.
The hard truth is we either sell the Sierra Theater and adjoining parking lot to the Susanville Symphony for $400,000, or we shutter the Sierra Theater and close the parking lot, most likely by the end of August. To have the Sierra Theater become another Hotel Mount Lassen or St. Francis would be a shame. But not to have a movie theater at all would be worse.
Larry Rogers of the Susanville Elks returned to the podium as well, once more noting his disappointment that yet again the Elks Lodge was left out of the recommended items up for consideration, stating the Elks was one of the organizations hit hardest by the pandemic. Pickleballers also came in large numbers, with one representative speaking for the group vying for $100,000 to resurface the Memorial Park tennis courts for the exponentially growing Susanville Pickleball Group. Yet City Manager Newton did say progress is already underway to complete that project, noting the council could, if they so choose to offset those costs, use ARPA funds. Others stepped forward to note the lack of focus on enhancing the city's infrastructure as well as code enforcement. Public Safety Chief Mike Bollinger also threw into the pot something that has been in the background. The fire department is in need of a new fire engine, as the daily driver is on its last leg, being over 30 years old. Bollinger stated a used vehicle can run from $75,000 to upwards of $400,000. While a new engine could top $1 million. No definitive numbers were given, as details regarding the options are still being worked through. The council, in an attempt to narrow down its top projects, however, directed staff to discuss the Susanville Symphony and Elks Lodge, while also drafting the scope of work to include cost for abatement and code enforcement enhancements, the historical museum storage, and Susanville Little League's bathroom repairs. The council did approve Newton's allocation of just over $1 million of the ARPA funds to be used towards half of the cost for the city's general plan update, interior repairs to the city hall, repairing and replacing the roof and heating system at the fire department, interior and exterior improvements and roof repairs at the police department, as well as a marketing campaign to promote economic recovery and tourism. As the council deliberates on allocating the remaining funds, the community can expect further discussions regarding the final distributions. A new $10,000 hiring bonus was just approved for Pumas Sheriff's Office correctional officers. We'll have more details on this story, though, coming up in more local news on 93 JDX 1240 KSUE.
At Banner Lassen, Patient Access Services is working hard at making healthcare easier so life can be better. Our staff provide prompt and accurate registration to get you to services quickly. Our emergency department staff work hard to make difficult events less stressful to get you to the care you need. In scheduling, staff are answering and making calls for needed services in a timely and efficient manner. In the business office, questions you have are handled with expertise, providing an excellent experience. PAS is making constant improvements to make your experience a better one and provide you with exceptional care.
We are blessed to live in our beautiful Susanville area. We're also lucky to have a locally owned supermarket dedicated to community with service you know and trust. Susanville Supermarket IGA. Fresh cut meats and vegetables and quality IGA products that help you save even more.
It's the private label sale this week at your IGA. Green leaf lettuce, 99 cents each. Russet potatoes, 10-pound bags, just $2.89. Best Yet or IGA mayo, 30-ounce jars, $3.99. Best Yet or IGA salad dressings, selected varieties, 2 for $3. Best Yet cheese slices, selected varieties, 2 packages for $6. Best Yet or IGA mac and cheese, 2 boxes for $1. And Best Yet or IGA water, 24 packs, $2.99 plus CRV.
Now offering Instacart. Shopping has never been easier at your hometown IGA. Sign up, shop, check out, and delivered. 7 days a week on Grant Avenue and SusanvilleSupermarket.com. Like them on Facebook. Susanville Supermarket IGA, your hometown proud supermarket.
Spring has sprung, and that means it's time to plan for your summer road trips. With Carlson's Tire Pros by your side, your vehicle will be ready to see the mountains, beaches, and everything in between. With Carlson's Tire Pros' full line of Michelin tires and products, you'll have the peace of mind to hit that road no matter what you drive. Visit in-store in Susanville or online at carlsonstirepros.com. Tire Pros. Love the drive.
Make your dream of owning your first home a reality with Sierra Central Credit Union. Let Sierra Central help you with your home loan process with lenders who you can trust to understand your financial situation and personal goals. Worried about meeting mortgage requirements? Sierra Central offers a program for those just starting their credit journey. For more information, visit sierracentral.com/borrow/personal/home. Helping to finance your home since 1955.
Local news on 93 JDX 1240 KSUE. A new $10,000 hiring bonus was just approved for Plumas Sheriff's Office correctional officers in efforts to bolster staffing. Sheriff Todd John to the Board of Supervisors on April 16th.
I never thought that I would be in a position where we might actually have to pay somebody to come and work for us. However, that's kind of where we are. We have multiple vacancies within the jail that we need to fill as quickly as possible, not only because we have a new jail that's almost completed that will require a minimum staffing level, but also because of the ability to potentially take some great candidates out of the jail and make them deputies within the county prior to the new legislation that's in effect that will require an AA degree or BA degree to become a law enforcement officer in the state.
And at the new jail, that minimum staffing level will require a total of 3 officers to be on shift at any given time. As John says, there will be one station within the new jail that is required to be staffed 24/7, whereas currently the jail can get away with staffing only 2 correctional officers overnight. The hiring bonus will give the employee $2,500. That's just a quarter of the total amount for their first payroll check upon successful passing the background check and being hired. After completing a core academy and reaching the 1-year anniversary of their service, they will receive another $2,500. Finally, upon reaching the 2nd year anniversary of their service, they will receive the remaining $5,000. Those who complete background checks after May 1st of this year will be eligible for the incentive. Johns says there are currently 4 applications in backgrounds with a former staff member also in interviews for rehire, yet the sheriff adds this still leaves the department 6 positions short within the jail. And the department is anticipating 2 to 3 correctional officers again moving into the academy to become deputies on patrol, another area in much need of staffing. The Board of Supervisors unanimously approved the hiring bonus, which will be coming from the county's general fund. As the spring season unfolds, the Lassen National Forest expands recreation opportunities. The rollout continues, and several campgrounds and day-use areas have opened their gates. Among the newly accessible sites are Horn, Bridge, Rocky, Cave, Hat Creek, and Big Pine campgrounds. Additionally, you can now explore Bridge day-use, Subway Cave, Hat Creek Rim Overlook, Old Station Day Use Area, Splatter Cone Nature Trail, and the RV Dump Station near Old Station's Visitor Center. These site openings follow Monday's campground opening announcement on the Almanor Ranger District, including Butte Meadows, Terry Hill, Alam, and Potato Patch campgrounds. The Forest Service's website does provide detailed information and resources on all current campground conditions within the Lassen National Forest. And the state is preparing to unveil an updated black bear conservation plan with public commenting available now through June. After more than 2 decades, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife have finally released that first draft on the long-awaited update. The new plan emphasizes the importance of classifying it as a conservation effort aiming to manage bear populations both actively and passively. The document reveals that black bear populations have been inaccurately represented over the last decade due to the CDFW's use of an indirect population modeling approach based on age data from tooth samples collected by hunters, which was prone to errors. However, in April of 2022, they introduced more precise, modernized methods for determining the health and size of the state's black bear populations, moving to an integrated population model to make use of the latest scientific tools and more data sources. Additionally, the plan is proposing dividing the state into 9 bear conservation regions due to California's vast geographical size and ecological diversity, which may result in variations in black bear populations concerning abundance, genetic diversity, and susceptibility to disease. This division would also entail adjusting the current annual harvest limits for hunters currently set at 1,700 black bears statewide and implementing separate limits within each of those regions. The CDFW is welcoming public feedback on the draft plan until June 14th. And that is what's happening today from your only local news radio, keeping you informed and connected to your communities throughout Lassen, Plumas, and Sierra counties.
Northeast California weather.
And at 12:17, let's take a look at your 3-day northeastern California weather. Currently at 63 degrees. We're not cold. We're pretty warm. 63 degrees outside the studios here this afternoon. We are expected to see highs near 70. There is a slight chance of showers starting after 2 p.m. this afternoon. We're going to remain under partly cloudy skies overnight. Lows down to about 44. Another slight chance of showers to start your Thursday morning. Then partly sunny skies. Highs cooling down to about 61. It's going to be breezy. Winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Chances of showers do increase overnight for Thursday. We'll see lows down to 41. And Friday, the best likelihood for rain and thunderstorms by the afternoon. Highs way down into the mid to upper 50s. All your weather updates, of course, heard right here throughout your day, as well as while you're on the go through our app, Sierra Daily News. Also found on our website, SierraDailyNews.com, our obituaries. Here is today's announcement. Harold Dean Arts, 78 years old of Susanville, passed away on December 16th. Back in 2004, Dean settled in Susanville, where he did purchase county cleaners. Dean is survived by his wife, brothers, 8 children, as well as 18 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. A celebration of Dean's life will be held on June 15th at 2 p.m. at Diamond Mountain Golf Course in the old clubhouse that is located off of Wingfield Road. Friends and family are invited to share fishing stories, boating experiences, and golf stories as they honor and remember Dean. To learn more about the life of Dean, again, you can visit SierraDailyNews.com. Those are your Wednesday afternoon news updates right here from your only local news radio. More local news is coming up on Live at 5 with your hosts Amanda and Aaron. And a reminder to also stick around after Swap Shop tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'll be hosting a special viewpoint hour with special guests Beth Seiler and Rhonda Hall, who will be delving into the diverse experiences and perspectives of individuals living with disabilities. We'll be emphasizing the vital importance of educating people of all ages about those disabilities. You want to make sure you're tuning in Thursday at 9 a.m. for that special viewpoint hour. From the Sierra Radio Network newsroom, I'm Andrea Drake. Thanks for joining me with your news at noon. Coming up next will be your checkup on health. Then more of Sierra's Best Country, heard on 93 JDX and Fox Across America, Jimmy Fela on 1240 KSUE.
How do you give hope to a child in the foster care system? It starts with your heart. That tug you feel on yours when you hear that children are waiting for a stable, loving voice to speak up for their best interests. And then it becomes your time. What started out as a feeling that maybe you could make a difference becomes the difference. Change a child's story. There is a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Providers and staff at Northeastern Rural Health Clinic would like to remind you to schedule your annual wellness exam.